Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Brittnee. I'm so excited about today's chocolate decoration. It's the best season of the year, fall, so I wanted to do a chocolate decoration using leaves. I actually saw an idea on Instagram where you lay down a leaf into the mold and airbrush cocoa butter around it. But that sparked an idea in my brain to instead do the opposite and paint the leaf with cocoa butter and then use it as almost like a stamp to press down into the mold. Just because you guys know I can't help myself, I wanted to try this design on both bonbons and bars. So to find the perfect shape molds, I dove back into that giant box of molds that Grace was so kind to send me, and I found the two perfect mold shapes today. This one is like a rounded square bonbon. And this is just the classic, like half cylinder bar mold, one of my favorites. To create our fall leaf decoration today, I'll be using mint leaves. They're pretty strong. They come in a range of different sizes. They're edible and they're a great leaf shape for decorations. If you also love fall and want to see another fun video using mint leaves to create chocolate leaf garnishes, check out this video tutorial on my channel. So today's video is just for the fall leaf decoration, and next week's video will be for the filling inside. Guys, I really think I did something with the flavor inside of these. They are pumpkin spice caramel with a graham cracker crunch, and I think they're just the perfect fall flavor. One more thing before we jump in. I've joked before on my Instagram and maybe a little bit here too about some of the bullies in my comments, like the caramel pronunciation police, the music haters, or the impatient learners. But truly, most of the people who comment on my videos, like seriously, 99% of you are always so kind, supportive, and complimentary, and always leave the most encouraging comments. So I've been inspired to highlight a subscriber at the beginning of my videos as a way to say thank you for being here. Today I want to dedicate this video to a longtime follower who has also become my friend through the comments and our messages. I remember her from almost the very beginning of my channel and quickly began to recognize her name because she always took the time to comment on my videos, something kind and encouraging, and she's always supported me. Bridget, this video is for you. Thank you for all of your support. I appreciate you so much. All right, guys, let's make some chocolates. Here are the supplies that you'll need. Some cocoa butters. I'll be using my homemade edible gold luster made with Genere Cakes Dazzle Dust, and some Chef Rubber Precolored Cocoa Butters that I mix to get the shades right. These two molds by Grace, which are numbers ML1022 and CM3989. Some paint brushes. I ended up favoring the small fan brush, and then a pack of mint leaves. To start, I just separate my leaves from the stems. This just makes the process go faster if you do it before you get started, because as always, once your cocoa butter is tempered, you want to work as quick as possible. Next, I line up my leaves by size, just so it's visually easy for me to see which one I want to grab during decorating. All my supplies are prepped, so I'll temper my gold cocoa butter first. Remember, when you mix your own metallic cocoa butters using edible luster dust, you don't always know if they're microwave safe, so just melt them down using your heat gun. If you don't know how to temper cocoa butter, I have a video for that. Check it out in this card or in the description below. So this technique is pretty straightforward. You are going to take a bit of cocoa butter on the brush of your choice and paint it onto one of the mint leaves. I like to leave some unpainted leaf at the end so I can pick it up without getting too messy. Then you'll just carefully lay it against the inside of the mold cavity. I found that if you press it up against the corner edge of the mold with one finger, then you can carefully press the rest of the leaf down into the mold with another finger to make sure you get a nice stamp of the leaf texture. Depending on the temperature and thickness of your cocoa butter, you'll quickly learn how long to leave the leaf on the mold before peeling it off. When the cocoa butter is warmer, it is thinner, and letting it cool down on the mold for a handful of seconds helps get a better leaf print without it smearing the pattern when you peel it off. And basically, I just repeat the technique for the whole mold. I reuse the leaves as long as I can until they start to fall apart. And then I wanted some variety between leaf patterns on my bonbons, so I just went along and was experimenting with leaf sizes and placement. Just for some consistency, I would usually do a whole row of the same pattern and then test a new one on the next row. On some of the bonbons with smaller gold leaves, I went back through and added another small one just to fill the space. At this point, I developed a bit of a new technique, which was to work with 2 leaves at a time. While I apply one, the other sits to cool down a bit, then I rotate through them, and it worked really well and was a lot faster. Now I do the same thing on the bar mold. Because there are a lot less cavities to decorate, I'm just doing them all the same. Also, I think for the bars, they'll look really cool all lined up in a row if they match. Here, I just clean off the excess gold cocoa butter from each of the molds using a paper towel. Now I'm going to layer the lighter orange with the gold leaves. Again, I'm just experimenting with where I'm placing the leaves, kind of just switching it up so they're all unique. So this isn't the most time-consuming decoration, but it does take a little extra time and care. So I decided about halfway through the orange that I was going to leave half the mold with just gold leaves and only do half layered with gold orange and dark orange. At the end, I'll see which ones I like better, or maybe they'll all look really good mixed together for variety. And I just did the exact same thing with the bar molds. I layered half the mold with the light orange and left the other half just gold. And now it's time to finish the layering using the darker orange. And here's how the bonbons look. I guess I didn't film any of the darker orange leaf application on this mold, but at this point, you guys know how I did it. Just randomly layered in the different areas I thought would look good. And here's how the bars turned out. Today I'm using dark chocolate because I think it goes really well with pumpkin flavor. And you guys know the drill. I'm going to temper this and then I'll shell the molds. So today I wanted to try out a technique that I saw Kirsten Tibbles do once, where you apply a thin layer of the chocolate with your finger before shelling. The idea is that this thinner layer of tempered chocolate will temper faster than a thicker layer, which will give it a better temper and make it shinier. So we'll see. So this is a pumpkin spice caramel and graham cracker crunch layer, and I'll be posting the full tutorial for this recipe in my next video. These sat in the fridge overnight to settle, and now I'll just cap them like normal. Both molds sat at room temperature for about 5 minutes until they were matte, and then placed in the fridge for 20 minutes to contract. Now, let's see how they turned out. What do you guys think? I love how both molds turned out. I actually think the bonbons are shinier than the bars, despite our little extra layer technique, but I think it might just be the mold shape. So anyway, maybe that thin layer doesn't make much of a difference. I don't know. Maybe just not worth the effort. Plus, dark chocolate is really pretty shiny all on its own usually, but it's always fun to try out a little experiment. All right, guys, I hope that you liked today's fall leaf decoration idea. If you liked the video, please let me know by liking the video down below. Also, let me know which is your favorite down in the comments. Do you like the bonbons or the bars better? Do you like the layered orange colors with the gold, or do you like the plain gold? Or do you like them all mixed together like what I ended up doing? I honestly ended up loving them all mixed together, some gold, some layered. They're all different and I love the variety. Of course, I love the bars because it's one of my favorite bar shapes. I also love these bonbons. This shape is so fun. I love that it's a rounded square at the base and then kind of becomes a little more spherical on the top. It just makes for such a cool shape and super shiny. I think today's bonbon design might be in my top favorite that I've made on this channel. I like that they're a little bit abstract, but I think you can still see what they are, which is leaves, and it definitely gives a good fall vibe. If you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, today's the day. If you'd like to see something else that's sweet, just click on one of these thumbnails. Thanks so much for watching today, and I'll see you soon. Bye.